Hello. Welcome to my kitchen. It is Tasty Treat Tuesday. We got some treats, y'all. You got some treats. Y'all see my apples? We got some treats. We are getting ready to get started. Can y'all see me good? I had to cut half of it off. I got this whole little, this thing has its whole own, what is it called? Stratosphere. I'm not a science person, but if I come down, y'all can see my whole head. My whole head. They have this whole thing. Come on in the room with me. Come in. Don't you dare stand in that window and watch. Come on in the room with me so that I can properly acknowledge you, please. I see you looking. Come on in so I can acknowledge you. And then I'm going to tell y'all what we're doing with these apples. All right? Hi, KJ. Y'all come on in here and tag and share. It is Tasty Treat Tuesday. So on Tuesdays, we have some tasty treats. It's just the year. It's just the time of the year for just, I feel like it's just that time of the year for soft baked stuff like cookies and breads and, I don't know, loaves and pies. And it's just that time of year, I feel like. I always feel like the fall is that special time of the year for treats, for nice baked goods. I feel like it is. Hello, India. Yeah, you can always get in cobblers and things like that. It's just that time of the year for it. And I'm so with it. I'm so for it. So we are going to get started. So we have some fresh apples. And I know all of you parents and teachers, hey Jayana, all of you parents and teachers, it is time for, even if you're not a parent or a teacher, hey, that's for anybody. It is time for the apple orchards. Listen, them apples are ready for the picking. You hear me? They are ready. So if you go on field trips with your kids, or if you chaperone, or if you just want to go yourself because you like hot cider like I do, and they give you all of these bags of apples, you know, even with the field trip, it's like, okay, you get, how do you like the apples? You get one pumpkin and you get a bag of apples. And then if you have kids, like I had kids, it's like, with the twins, okay, that means 2 pumpkins and 2 bags of apples. And then if you have 3 kids that are all around the same age at the same time, that means you get 3 pumpkins and 3 bags of apples. So then you're loaded with all of these apples, and the kids are excited about picking them. But of course, they're not that excited when you get home to eat them. Me, myself, I eat apples 2 at a time. And like these apples, these are kind of small. So I can honestly eat 2 to 3 of these at a time, like right behind each other. You know, some people go in there and get an apple and keep it moving. I normally grab 2 or 3, depending on how small they are, and I wash them, and then I go about my business walking around with 2 or 3 apples or in my bag or whatnot. So I'm going to show you something helpful that you can do with all those apples that you are getting from these apple orchards, okay? They won't sit on the counter and rot. You can eat them. You can put them into smoothies. You can, I know it's one restaurant that does their special, they specialize in the fried apples. So you can do pies. You can do pies, muffins, all of that, okay? So we are going to do today some apple. Oh, glad you are here. Today we are going to do some apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies. Cue the heavenly sounds. Oh. We are going to put these apples to good use, okay? All of these apples that you are collecting because it's fall. And when I get the apples, I have, Amazing Vegan has this amazing apple aid, okay? You got to try some. Inbox it for your order, but start the track. So we are going to put our apples to use. So I have 3 apples that have already been cleaned, and we are going to peel them and dice them. So I have a peeler. They're already clean, and we're just going to peel and dice these apples, all right? They don't have to be perfect, just, then some of them you may have that are a little bruised. It's okay. Just take the little bruised part off if you can and keep moving. I told you all I would be back. Yesterday, I told you all. Oh, my God. If you were here yesterday, oh, my goodness. Those chickpea patties and hot butter grits were absolutely amazing. I think we had somewhat of a comedy show yesterday as well. So we're just going to keep peeling these. You discovered a way to eat apples other than just eating them, biting them. do share. Almost done. Great minds think alike. I was just saying today that I am going to see my applesauce. Listen, I have some apples. I love applesauce. I always have. As a kid, as an adult. And then now that I can just make my applesauce. Even the apple pie flavored sea moss that I do is awesome. I love apples. And so I have some apples over here in my Ninja. You can see it back there. They're ready to go. So I'm going to go back there and get those ready because this recipe calls for a little applesauce. Hi, Darius. So I'm just going to scoop these down in here. If you're just tuning in, thank you for coming into the kitchen with us today for Tasty Treat Tuesday. And today we are putting to use some of these apples. Some of you all get apples galore from these apple orchards and don't know what to do with them. You pass them out to your neighbors. Which is good too. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to pass out apples to your neighbors if they like them. That is okay. Hello, Jamal. Thank you for coming into the kitchen with us today. Hi, Corey. So we're going to core these apples. Listen, I'm sneaking and using this quietly because this is my daughter's. This is one of her little handy dandies. So I'm going to use it today. It's going to help us chop up these apples a lot faster. She'll live. If you're just coming in, I'm telling you, I'm showing you, we're going to go through this little recipe for some apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies to help you get rid of some of those apples you got piling up. Hi, Asia. Some of those apples you have piling up at the house. Hey, little brother. Aww. So we chop those up. And then we're just going to thinly slice them a little more. And then we're going to add them to this plate here. You don't want them too big because you don't want really big chunks of apple in your cookie. I mean, you want nice pieces. So here is good. All right. See, that kind of helped us get that apple chunk cut up a little bit faster with this apple slicer. Glad I had one here that my daughter seemed to think is hers. Miss Alexander, thank you for coming into the kitchen with us today. It is Tasty Treat Tuesday. And we are preparing some tasty, what are we doing, y'all? Some apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies. We're learning how to deal with some of these apples we have in here. There's so many of them. Get all these bags of apples from these little orchards. And you can't eat them fast enough because they start going bad. Start making recipes out of them. That's how you do that. So you technically only need a cup of apples. I'm going to do a cup and a half. Because I always want more, of course. I miss you too. How is everything going? I'm going to have to come and visit. How was everybody's Tuesday? It's nice and rainy and cool. Listen, y'all, we need you back. Oh my goodness. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to inbox you, seriously, like between today and tomorrow. I have considered. We'll talk. We'll talk. So it has gotten very, very, very cool. Okay. So I broke yesterday, y'all. I turned the heat on. I so didn't want to turn that heat on. I really didn't. I really, really didn't. But it had got so cold in here and in my bedroom, and I can't do it. I can't sleep when it's cold like that. I can't. My body is all tensed up. I got on layers. Like, I can't. I cannot sleep that way. So we'll just chop up a few more. Then the rest of these that we didn't chop, we can always just eat them. Not proud of me because I turned my heat on. I wasn't ready. I don't think the heat should be on. They go charge you with it. I don't think the heat should be on until like November. It's cold and it's rainy and damp. So I did. Whatever. But I'm grateful there's heat to turn on. Hello. So almost done chopping up these apples. Preheat your oven to 350. And line your baking sheet. I have one already lined over here. Line your baking sheet with a silicone baking mat or some parchment paper. You already cold. We're going to make these cookies and warm yourself right on up. And warm yourself right on up. You can use a Granny Smith apple. You can use Granny Smith. You like cookies. You always have. Granny Smith apples. You can use Honeycrisp. Any baking apple you can use. I'm trying to remember what apple this was. Don't remember. But those are the apples that you can use for baking. What we always drink. Always. Water is everything. I started to make some tea today and I didn't. I'm just going to stick to the water. I'm just going to stick to the water. I'm always really thirsty when I come on live because I'm talking a lot. So we have our apples already finely chopped. Okay. And I'm just going to take the rest of these apples and just set them off to the side. They will be eaten. Just give our board a nice little wipe down. And yes, I have everything already pre-measured today. Hi, Miss Mary Hill. I have everything already pre-measured out today. Thank you for coming into the kitchen. So we already have our butter softened. A half a cup of soft butter. All right. But we also already have our flour. So you're going to need, 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. This is some organic flour. And we are going to mix in our cinnamon, our baking soda, and our salt. So our cinnamon, I'm giving you all measurements because y'all know measurements with me. It's dump, stir, cook. Let's go. So our cinnamon, our ground cinnamon, you're going to use 1 teaspoon. Let's see. Baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon. And I believe it's 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to dump that into our flour we already have here. I'm going to give that a whisk. And just sit it to the side. Because we're going to dump it into our butter mixture. Smell, I love the way cinnamon smells. Cinnamon, ginger, I love all of them. Apples and cinnamon just belong together. Thank you, my afro today. Let me squat down so the whole thing can fit. So we have our flour mixture already mixed. Now, we're back with our softened butter. My pastor is watching. Hello, culture in the kitchen. When I say culture in the kitchen, y'all know what that means, okay? So I have our softened half cup of butter already. And we're going to mix in our brown sugar. I set my brown sugar to the side so that it didn't harden. Now it's still nice and soft. I set it inside of a pot with a lid so it can stay moist until I was ready. So we have half a cup of brown sugar. I'm just going to dump that in with our butter. And then while this is sitting, I'm going to make the applesauce. You go. Yes, ma'am. That is why I need you all to continue to tag and share. Continue to share them. Continue. That's the only way they are going to be seen, is if you all help me and share. And I appreciate you for that. So I'm going to go back here and I am going to start our ninja because I have our apples in there to continue with the applesauce. Okay? Simple. You can do apples in water or apples in lemon juice. Lemon juice if you need to let it sit for a while, but I don't because I'm dumping it in right away. So just some apples and some water, okay? Just some apple slices and water. So we're just gonna give it a couple of little pulses. Simple. And our applesauce is done. See? Simple. Good old applesauce. Just what's dripping? The water. So we have our butter and we have our sugar. And we're just going to mix that with our little handy dandy. Everything is handy dandy. Why is everything handy dandy? We're going to mix that. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of my way is what I am going to do. We're going to mix that until it's nice and light and fluffy. Okay? So we just have our butter and our sugar. Butter was already softened. Very soft. You let it sit out from room temperature for a while, it'll automatically soften up. And you don't have to like heat it up in a microwave or anything because then you'll get melted butter. So if you let it sit out to room temperature, it'll soften on its own. Hi, Chels. We are doing some apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies today. Thank you for asking. And don't forget, scrape your sides down. Scrape your sides down. Yes, Chelsea, I'm trying to help you all get rid of some of these apples in your home. We go to these apple orchards and we collect a whole tree's worth of apples. And then we get home and don't know what to do with them. So here you go. Make you some cookies. In between eating them fresh, of course. No, Miss Mary, we're not adding raisins because we're doing the apples. However, if you want to add raisins when you make it, you can. If you want to add some pecans, you can. I started to add some diced pears, and I didn't. We're just going to stick to the apples today. But you can, when you're ready to make them, when you get ready to make these cookies in your kitchen, add the raisins. And take some pictures and tag me in it and tell me how they were. Who knows? Next time I may add raisins to mine if you like the way they taste. You gotta tell me what it tastes like. decorate my sides a little more. Okay. Our sugar and butter mixture is nice and fluffy and light. That's how you want it. So let's add in our applesauce mixture. You only need 1/4 cup, okay? So let's get 1/4 cup. It's a little, let's press a little bit out of water. Then you want to add your applesauce. You got a little left, eat it. Or make another batch of cookies. Nothing has to be wasted. And let's add our vanilla. Need a teaspoon of vanilla. That I didn't measure. It's okay. We'll do it now. Hi, Ice. So we're going to mix that in a little more before we add in our flour mixture. It smells so good. So the applesauce, if you're wondering, of course, we're not using eggs. Of course, because we're vegan. So applesauce works as a wonderful egg replacement. Also, it heightens the taste. It gives a little boost to these diced apples we're going to stir in. You can use applesauce for any baking recipe that you're not using eggs for. Or you can use the flax egg. Remember, we did the flax egg when we did some baking before. Yes, really, applesauce is an egg replacer. Okay? All right. So let's add in our flour mixture. Remember, we already put our flour in, our cinnamon, our baking soda, and our salt. So I'm going to add in half and then give it a mix. And then I'm going to add in the other half. I'm going to scrape my little scraper off and get that back in there. I want everything to stay in the bowl. We're going to mix this and then add in the other half. Give my bowl a little spin from time to time. Oh, I'm glad you did, Miss Mary. I'm glad you did. So our flour mixture is mixed in pretty well. You don't want to over mix it. Give it a little turbo spin to loosen up some of take the excess batter off of the beaters. Yeah. So now let's add in our oats. We have 1.5 cups of oats, some organic oats, some old-fashioned organic oats. Nothing fancy, just some oats. Same oats I use when I'm making a big pot of oatmeal on the stove. Hi, Miss Darlene. So we're gonna fold in our oats. And our apples. Let's throw them all in. How about it? And let's mix that in good. It smells so good. I used to love eggs as well before I went vegan, Miss Mary. I did as well. Oh, this smells so... This screams fall. I promise you. This smell screams fall. Oh my God. I want to open up the window and then holler about it's cold in a minute, huh? It smells so good. I'm gonna mix this. It's mixed in pretty good. You should be able to just use your scraper or a spatula or whatever you have to kind of fold it in. You shouldn't need the mixer to fold this in. It should be loose enough just for you to fold it in pretty good. And then, like I said, we already have our baking sheet already lined. Hi, Dorita. Already have our baking sheet lined with parchment paper, or you can also use the silicone baking mat, okay? So here we go. Here's our cookie dough. For those of you that are just coming on, we are making apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies. I'm just trying to give y'all something to do with these apples y'all keep collecting for these apple orchards. Oh, I've never heard that, Miss Mary, but thank you for the information. Oh, wow. I'm glad I don't eat them. So let's get we have our baking sheet already lined. I'll wipe this off because then it'll just end up on the bottom of the sheet burning in the oven. So let's just put these. You can make them however big you want to make them. You want them small, you want them about 2 inches, you want them big. You can make them whatever size you want to make them. But we're just going to drop them tablespoonfuls amount, at least 2 inches apart on the baking sheet, okay? At least 2 inches apart. I guess I can make this one a little bit more round, huh? And no, we didn't do with the magic of TV today and already have some sitting to the side. We sure did not. I love for you all to get the entire experience. I want y'all to see everything. And a lot of times when I make stuff, people say, you did not make that out of that. No, you didn't. And I have to go back later and say, yes, I did, look. So if you're watching, you can see exactly what I did. You can go on, Miss Mary, you can go on Instagram or Facebook. You can inbox me or DM me what it is exactly that you're looking for, and I'll get with you there. And then we can take care of business there, if that sounds good. So we just put just a few. We didn't cover it completely. We're going to put them in the oven. It normally only takes 10 to 12 minutes, okay? Or until your top. You can see when your tops are starting to get done. You don't want to burn them. And then if you leave them there too long, then they're crispy. If you take them out, then you'll have a chewy cookie. Me, myself, I like a chewy cookie. I like a soft, baked, chewy cookie. I don't like crispy cookies. Just my preference. We're going to put these in the oven. That was quick, huh? That didn't take long. So you can use icing for these cookies or just eat them as is. So while our first batch is cooking, let me hear it. What did you all eat today? How was everybody's day? I can't wait till I start smelling them bacon. I want to hear about your day. You all always hear about what I do, what I got going on. I want to hear about yours. Oh, my day was good. It was good. I had a good day. I had a very good day. I did. Taki tacos. Okay, explain to us what taki tacos is. Oh, let me guess. Is that kind of like a walking taco, but made with Takis? Am I right or wrong? I don't know. Is this something that you all just made up? So we can make a little frosting. Where's my we can make a little frosting, icing rather, for our cookies while we wait. We can do that. So let me get some Let's get some powdered sugar here. And then I'm gonna go and get some almond milk. Lobster bisque. Ooh. So I'm gonna get some almond milk so we can make a little bit of frosting, okay? Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. And we already have our vanilla out. So we got some almond milk, we got a little powdered sugar, our whisk, and some vanilla. That's all you need for some icing for your cookies. It's not, it's Taki flavored shells. But I call it Taki. Okay, I got it, all right. I got it, I guess. So I'm gonna add a little powdered sugar to our bowl. A little vanilla. Time to get a new one. Oh, for those of you that need to see, I use Madagascar vanilla. I love it. And let's add a little almond milk. You can use oat milk. I love oat milk. You can use almond milk. You can use hemp seed milk. A sweet potato style, a vegan style sweet potato cornbread. Okay, sure, we can do that, of course. I'll give you a break because we just did sweet potato like last week, so we don't want to do all sweet potato things all in one week. But it might be helpful if you have like extra sweet potatoes left over and you don't know what to do with them. So let's add little dribbles of milk at a time because you don't want your icing to be watery. Like this one. So we'll add a little more sugar. Do you all remember those oatmeal cookies? They had the icing, the white frosting icing drizzled on top. Those were my favorite. And I remember the brand too. I just not sure if I should drop the brand. I'm gonna add a little more sugar. Like I said, drizzle your milk in so that it's not, doesn't make your icing too thin. Oh, thank you, Miss Mary. I enjoy you all watching. I thank you for coming into the kitchen with me. I really, really do. I really do. I appreciate you all. So we made our icing for our cookies. If you want to. Of course, I'm going to taste it with icing, but I kind of prefer it without it because it's already a cookie and it's just extra sweetness. But it's still going to be good. I don't know. I'm going to try it with and without, okay? So this is good. A little thicker would be good as well. Yeah, let's make it a tad bit thicker. Just a tad bit. Just a tad. Nice warm cookies on a nice fall day. Of course, after your dinner. So relaxing. These warm confections. Listen, I have been story time, okay? I think I told this story already before. I have been baking since I was a little girl. I technically wasn't supposed to be in the kitchen baking, but I was. It started off, I'll be honest with you, it started off with my mother buying me an Easy Bake Oven. It was my best friend. It was my best friend. And so they come with these little packets of like maybe some cookie mix. Okay, Ice, take pictures and tag me. They, Miss Mary, look for it very, very soon. It is being prepared as we speak. Yes, ma'am. Look for it very, very soon. Thank you for asking. It is being prepared right now. And I'll give you all information more and more the closer we get to where we need to be. Thank you. Because I know that you all will support. Thank you so much. But these Easy Bake Ovens came with, now this is better. And then you can just drizzle it over your cookies, or actually turn your cookie upside down and kind of dunk it and take it out, however you want to do it. So we'll set this over to the side. And then I still have a little milk if I want milk with my cookie. It's a win-win, remember? So, and I'm going to eat an apple slice. So, the Easy Bake Ovens come with this, these little packets of brownie mix and cookie mix and whatever else, cake mix. But they only come with, and you also can add a little cream cheese in there if you want to. If you want to turn it into a cream cheese icing or frosting, just add a little cream cheese. So they came with these little packs of stuff. And it wasn't enough because I went through those little packets in like a day. And so my younger brother, who turned our Monday Night Lives into a comedy show last night, I so appreciate him. I was baking him all kinds of stuff, and he was just sitting there eating it all up. Like, he thoroughly enjoyed this. And those of you that know, when Amazing Vegan comes on, we don't just cook. We have conversation. We have laughter. We encourage one another. We interact, and that's why I like the lives. So if you expect for me to just stand here like this for an hour, no, we're going to talk while things are cooking. This is what we do. And so my mother, they had these boxes of, it was by Jiffy. Jiffy makes, I don't know if they still do, but they did, brownie mix, cake mix. They made all of this. And so they were only like 35 cents, 25 to 35 cents per box. And so after I ran through extremely fast the little packets that came with the Easy Bake Oven, my mother would go back to the store and buy me a whole bag full of the Jiffy mixes. Like, here, this should last you a long time. And it didn't, because I went right through that as well. Oh, thank you, Miss Mary. I feel it too. Thank you. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. This is all love. And so I went through those, and so that started my little journey on wanting to bake all the time. I went through that, and then my mother used to give us these. She would give us the beaters, the whisk, spatula, the spoon. I don't care what it is. We were standing there like this every time my mother baked. My mother was a wonderful baker. And she would stand there and say, before she can say, who wants it? And turn around, we were standing there like this. Eyes this big, just little, just standing there with all of this hair and eyes, begging to eat the batter off of the bowl. And so we got slick with it. I'm gonna take a peek. We got slick with it. We learned that it was more than just this. We learned that if we waited patiently, we can eat the remains that was in the mixing bowl. So go ahead, you can get the spoon. I'm on there right now because we were waiting for the bowl. Miss Mary, I grew up in the house with 2 brothers and 2 sisters. My mother had 5 children. Yeah, so it was never a dull moment. And so after I got done with the Easy Bake Oven, I needed more. That wasn't enough. So I tipped on over into the kitchen where I was not supposed to be as of yet, because My mother had a rule. We were not supposed to experiment in the kitchen and get into the food and mess around with the food. Mess over it, basically. You know, make a mess and experiment. It wasn't because we couldn't eat, of course, but it was because, you know, don't go in there messing around and making a mess and messing up stuff. And so I would wait for her to leave, and then I would go in there and learn a new recipe, like once a week. And I did this all the way into my teenage years. And I did it so much, and I did it so much, and I did it over and over and over and over and over until I eventually knew what I was doing. And I became good at what I was doing. I became so good at what I was doing. One day, as an adult, I went to visit my mother, and she says, "Do I have anything sweet in there?" I said, "No, ma'am." I said, "Hold on, let me see." So I went in there, and I clicked my little usual scan through really quick. And I was able to make her some cookies with the ingredients that she had in there. And she was surprised. She didn't know that I could bake that way. That was our story time. And our cookies are done. And I'm going to put in another batch. They are hot. Oh. Oh. Oh my. I'm going to sit them here. And then I'm going to put them over on a cooling rack. And I'm going to gladly put in another batch because I feel like I could have taken these out sooner and I'm still eating apple slices. I'm going to move these over. They're firm enough to move without breaking. They're firm enough to move without breaking. Normally you want to let them sit on the pan for a few minutes before you move them over to your cooling rack, but they're firm enough to move for right now. And I'm going to bring this rack over so y'all can see what's on it. Oh, thank you, Miss Mary. I hope I'm pronouncing... Hey, Franny. I hope I'm pronouncing this name right. Dakaria? I hate slaughtering names, and I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but thank you for joining us today. So we just took out of the oven, and I'm going to sit them here. We just took out our apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies, and they're hot and they're fresh, and I made a little icing to go on top if that's what you desire. Yeah, I'm trying to give you all something to do with all those apples y'all keep going to get from these apple orchards. Y'all go to these apple orchards and bring back trucks full of apples, and then they sit in y'all kitchen, and then they go bad and y'all throw them away. Stop that. Let's eat them. So you can find different things to do with them. Hello, Mr. Fudge. You can find different things to do with the apples. Eat them fresh, of course. You can make pies, cobblers, cookies. Put them over into salads, smoothies. I love chopping up apples into my salad. It is the absolute best. And so we're going to let these cool. I'm going to take a little of this icing and drizzle it over a couple cookies. So we'll do this one. And then they're hot. I prefer for them to cool off before you drizzle them. They're so pretty. Can y'all see that? Let me let y'all see this. Can y'all see? Oh, thank you, Franny. I appreciate you. So I'm just putting some frosting, some icing on some of them. And because they're still hot, it's melting. But we're all done. And so y'all know what time it is. It's time to taste them. Can y'all see this? Y'all see these cookies? Hi, Hey, Nell. I miss you, girl. Thank you all for coming into the kitchen with me. We are just finishing up. I'm going to put another batch in because we have more batter to go. And I dare not waste the rest of our batter. I'm going to go ahead and put these in. But today, we put some of these apples that we get. We get so many apples. I'm going to lift this back up a little bit. We get so many apples from these apple orchards and these field trips and stuff. If you have children like I do, I collected. Hi, Gabby. I collected so many bags of apples because it was like all of my kids at one point seemed to be the same age, but they weren't. So it was field trip after field trip, and they all went together and then had all these little bags of apples that you get from the apple orchard. Apples and pumpkins. We'll do some pumpkin bisque another day. But today we did some apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies today with some of these apples that we have. And so they are all nice and cooled off, some of them. And we're gonna put them on a plate. And the ones that I put icing on, because the cookies were still warm, the icing kind of melted right on over into the cookie. So definitely let your cookies cool. Y'all see them apples? Y'all see them bits of apples? Oh my goodness. I wish y'all can smell this. I wish you can smell it. It's Tasty Treat Tuesday. Yeah. So let's taste this cookie. Let's see what we got going here. This one has some icing on it. I'm gonna put a little more on there. Just a little bit. I hope I don't lose it in this icing. Okay. I put a little bit on there. I'm making a mess, but I put a little bit more on there. And let's taste this cookie. Oh my. Oh my. This is fall. This is a whole season wrapped into one cookie. I told y'all, apples and cinnamon go together perfectly. Thank you, Nell. Apples and cinnamon is perfect together, okay? This cookie is absolutely amazing. Listen, none is going to waste. I'm going to eat this cookie, okay? No, ma'am, Miss Mary. My children, with the exception of one, are all adults now. So, and then the youngest one, you know, she doesn't really do that. So, I don't have to do that anymore. Those days are kind of over for me. Those days are kind of over for me for now anyway. So, no, I don't have to do that this time. But these are so amazing. I need you all guys to go get this recipe and make these cookies. Listen, I'm getting ready to get out of here because I got to put this last batch in here. Because I have a little one whose nose is like Toucan Sam, and she'll be down here in a minute. She's going to want these cookies. So I'm going to get finished up here. These are absolutely amazing. Can y'all please go and make these cookies? It didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. Not many ingredients. And I can almost guarantee you, probably 98 of these ingredients you already have in the house anyway. Just going to make them. Just going to make them. Thank you, Nelly. Oh, thank you, Miss Mary. You want to see me cry tonight on this on this live. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that from my heart. Thank you so very much. And God bless you all too. Thank you. Yes. So on Mondays, Franny, we do In the Kitchen with Amazing Vegan. And on Tuesdays, we do Tasty Treat Tuesdays. So I come back on Tuesdays and I make some nice, I don't know, some cookies, some cobblers, some pies, some cakes, some slushies, some smoothies, some milkshakes. I don't know. Just some good tasty treats, whatever we come up with. And if you have something that you would like to see the Amazing Vegan do on a Monday or Tuesday, inbox me. Let me know. Let me know. But until next time, I love you all and take special, special care of yourselves, okay? Thank you. Go make these cookies. I love you all so very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.